Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Joe Mama, your host, and today we are going to play Factorio. Now for those of you who've been to my channel before and seen me play Factorio, you're probably looking at this channel thinking, where'd all your videos go? And if you've never been to this channel before, you're probably looking at this like, wow, he's an upstart, first time recording Factorio, but no, I have recorded many series on Factorio on my channel, but due to some things going on in my personal life a while back, I took kind of the knee-jerk reaction of deleting my channel and the videos with it, and it was stupid. It was not well thought out, and as a result, I'm used to, I was close to 400 subs, and now I'm down to 20 to 21, I think. So, but anyway, previously on my channel, I had done a series, Operation Lazy Bastard. Okay, Lazy Bastard. If you're not familiar with if you're familiar with Factorio, you know what the Lazy Bastard achievement is. It's where you construct less than 110 or 111 items in your hand. And if you can do that and basically use machines to do the rest, you make the achievement, and I've done that. Well, now I'm actually running some mods, which I love. I love some of the mods for Factorio, and this particular one is Ruins. The Ruins mod. Now, here's how this is going to work. With Factorio, the achievements you get can only be gotten through, or, well, let me rephrase that. You can get the achievements under two conditions. You can get them in the vanilla game, and you can get them with the game modded. Now, I've already gotten most of them in vanilla, but I want to get this particular one in modded. Now this, if you're familiar with the Ruins mod, you'll know that that's actually going to be fairly easy, because the Ruins mod actually simulates a world. Just like Factorio, you've crash landed on this world and you have to build things to survive and advance through a tech tree to ultimately launch a rocket. Well, in this world, you've crashed, in this mod, you've crashed on this world, and there's already been somebody like you who's attempted it and failed, apparently, and there's scattered throughout the world, you're going to find things that he or she left behind, and it's up to you to make use of them. Now, some of those things are things that assembly machines, inserters, belts, scientific research labs, utility poles, steam engines, things that can produce power, all of these things that you would have to produce in the vanilla game on your own, and some of those things you would have to produce without an assembly machine. You have to produce in your hand. Well, you'll be able to find assembly machines, and provided you can set up power, you'll be able to start assembling almost right off the bat. So what I would like to do in this series is, since I've been out of Factorio, I want to learn more about the game, because few versions have come out. There have been a few changes since the last time I played, and I'd kind of like to learn. And B, I'd like to try to keep the number of hand-assembled items not just below 110. I want to keep it as low as possible. 110 is pretty difficult to do, and the irony of this thing being called the Lazy Bastard achievement is that it actually takes a lot of work and planning to keep from producing things in your hand, because it's so easy to do. But, so yeah, I want to keep that number as low as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started on this world, which I've laid out here, as you can see, and we're going to get right into it. Let's go ahead and hit play. Okay, this is Factorio Free Play. Your task is to launch a rocket into space, as I said. You will need to research advanced technologies in order to unlock the rocket silo. Start small, work your way up with automation, and don't forget to protect yourself from the natives. Yes, as you can see, let's tab out. There we are. If you're not familiar with Factorio, that's your character right there. A sexy dude dressed out in things that are going to help him survive and build. So let's hit the map. And as you can see, we're pretty clear out and about. And I see a couple of things out here that we can go find. So before we do anything, we're going to go and forage, okay? So I will try to do that, and I'll come back if there are things that are, that are interesting. If something interesting happens, I'll point it out to you. But until then, the first thing we're going to do is go forage. First, you know what? Let's first go to the first thing on the map. Let's pick something on the map. Let's go to it. So if you're not familiar with the Ruins mod, you can get an idea of, oh, that's what you're talking about. And there's something up here to our north. Let's go for walkies. So as you can see, our starting area's got all the stuff we need. We've got water, copper, stone, and coal. And I also like, if you're familiar with Factorio, I like the, oh, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this camera. Don't need the camera here because I want to show you something. All right, let's drop that. Okay, as you can see in the upper left, right here, there's a marker that's going to constantly keep track of our achievement progress. And right now, we've produced 0 items in hand. Oh, what do we got here? In the trees. This is a thing. One thing, there's actually been some changes to the game. For those who are familiar with it, oh, I'll take the box. You don't have to produce an axe. You don't have to constantly replenish your axe because it's just given to you. It's just considered that you came with it and you just have that capability, which is great. So we're picking up a bunch of things out now you can't really see. And we'll go in our inventory, we'll figure out what those things are because it's kind of being blocked. I can see inserters, I can see belts. I hear that we're tearing down trees because trees in this game, holy crud. And also, I'm here during my lunch break right now. And for those of you who know that, who follow me, I also do Minecraft. But at the moment, things are super busy. And if you know anything about Minecraft or recording Minecraft videos, you know that it's very difficult to do when you only have a little bit of time, short spurts of time. Minecraft is very involved, and if you try to record a Minecraft video, it's like there's tons of editing involved, and ooh, what do we got? We'll take this. Actually, I wish I had a repair kit, but we'll take that. Now let's see what we got. We've got crate, belts, inserters, utility poles, lamps, and some of this stuff we've already had. Oh, we have a steel furnace. Now, we usually don't get that until later. That will be super helpful because it can produce stuff twice as fast as a traditional stone furnace. We've also got some iron plates, which are great. Let's check the map. Something's down here. Where is it? Oh, right, steel crate right there. Okay, we'll take it. There's a few things. Like I said, foraging. Oh, did it? No way! It had a laser turret in it. Oh, let's hit the Alt button so we can see what's inside crates. It had a laser turret in it. See, this is what I'm talking about. You just don't know what you're going to find with the Ruins mod. But again, so the goal here is not just find great stuff, but to use that great stuff to keep this number 0. Right now it's 0 because I've done nothing in hand. To keep it as low as possible. And we are on our way to do that. Okay, what was this? This was water. Alright, so as you can see... Oh, we never did pick that up. You know what? I'm not even going to worry about it right now. It's probably pipes or something. Let's wander around a little bit more, see what we can find, and then afterward I will, we'll do a jump cut, and when we come back, I'll just have an inventory full of stuff, and we'll start getting going. I will say this, though. There is something that we are going to have to produce that we just don't find out here. I've played the Ruins mod many times, and sometimes I just play vanilla or with not vanilla. If you're playing the Ruins mod, you ain't playing vanilla. But without the lazy bastard achievement. Without going for it, I'll just play it just for fun. And I have never seen a water pump just straight up given to you. You have to build it yourself. I've never seen a water pump, which means that that is an item that we have to start out with a water pump in order to, oh man, it's all damaged. But that's okay, we can repair it. I just wish I'd found a repair kit. And we have our first assembly machine. But before we can use the assembly machine, we're going to have to power it with something. So that means if we can find some steam engines with boilers, which I know sometimes appear, that would be fantastic. We got some pipes up here. All right, we'll take those. Ah, see right here. Here we go. Some electric mining machines. Very helpful to have. A lot more efficient than the burner miners that they start you out with. So, again, I mean, yes, it gives an advantage. Having this gives an advantage over the traditional vanilla achievement, and we know that. I make no apologies and I make no excuses. But like I said, I'm kind of getting myself back into the game after, oh, got a science lab, after having been out of it for a while. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, we don't need to go near that turret if we don't want. But so this is in fun. It's not, I'm not doing this particular series to be a challenge, but maybe we both can learn a little bit about Factorio's changes together. So we're gonna grab everything we can here. Now, some of these things are booby-trapped. You might find a mine. And that's why at the earliest possible convenience, we need to build ourselves some armor. But I can't build anything, and I'm not going to build anything until I get power for this assembly machine. But I do have a repair kit, which means we can repair things as we find them. That's fantastic. We've also got some fish, which means we can, I'm actually going to take these walls too. We'll use those. With armor, we should be able to take on the turrets that we find, because we will find turrets. They will defend themselves. And that kind of sucks. But, hey, it adds a little bit more challenge to the game. That's all right. It's not crazy. There's something down here. Oh, yeah, here we go. See, this is the sort of thing you'll find. Just groups of very helpful items that now we don't have to produce to get our little base started. Of course, we will have to produce things. That's natural. That's part of the game. But at least we have seed machines. You know what I'm saying? We have a way to start out. Now let's get the fish handy, because we're actually going to have to heal ourselves fairly soon. I'm going to see if we can tank some hits from this thing. Oh, okay. It's empty, apparently, and cannot target us. Okay, now there are definitely booby traps in here, but we're going to grab as much as we can from a distance. Monitor the map pretty closely. Okay, like right here. Look at this. Science packs. It's awesome. But science packs mean nothing if we don't have the means to power them, to power labs, to process them. So we're going to look for those. Okay, pipes. We're going to take those. You notice that formation of pipes is very similar to one we found earlier. Normally, if you're not familiar with Factorio, normally we would immediately start to collecting and processing resources, but we are going to bypass that for now. We're going to forage as much as we can before we have to, quote, produce anything. Let's see what fate will give us. I'm sorry about the darkness here. I wish I could adjust that. Also, you're going to be hearing music right now. In post, as we say, I'm going to add music. I've got music to the game, and I'm just going to add it. But because there will be so much cutting that I will be doing, there's something up here. I will be doing so much cutting Uh-oh, we found the enemy. Oh, heck! Okay, well, there's a turret there. Eventually it will run out of ammo, but let's use the fish to heal us. Okay, it's ran out of ammo. Alright, we'll take what's there. We'll get out of dodge, because if you look at the map, there's the enemy. And we want to stay well clear of those. We don't need this machine here. We're not going to risk it. So we've basically found the northern limit, I think. About as far as we want to go to the north. And we're going to walk around and forage stuff. But yeah, like I said, music, I'm going to keep the music off and then add it later. Which is kind of a shame, because I love playing this game to music. But if I do editing, to you, the music is going to sound all chopped up and obnoxious, and we don't want that. Alright, so there's nothing really to be gained. There's an enemy there. Alright, so there's nothing really to be gained going this way anymore. So we're going to start heading to the west. Well, as you can see, our inventory is already filling up. You can see we picked up a lot of ore. Now, all of that we don't really need. If we pass by our central area, if we pass by our starting area on the way, in fact, you know what? Maybe we'll do that. Did I pick up any burner inserters? I did not. Rats. Okay, because what I would like to do is I would take the burner inserters and just use them to insert stuff into the into a furnace. Since I don't have any means of powering the electric inserters, I would just use those to just push stuff into the furnace and have that processing more iron while we're gone. But what we can do is we can actually look at all these iron plates and copper plates. It's fantastic. We can actually drop some of that off back at our starting area. We've got crates and we've got stuff to put in them, and that'll free up our inventory. Or inventory, as our other English speakers like to say. Okay, let's go tank another hit over here. Oh, we've got some stuff. We've got a winner. We're about to get shot. Alright, run out of ammo. Yep, you can't actually pick up the turrets, which is a real bummer. I would love to pick those up. But as it turns out, we got 16 gun turrets right now because they were in crates. Okay, let's actually take the repair kits and let's repair this stuff before we pick it up. How about that? We can totally do that. Alright. And the reason we want to repair it isn't just we want it at its full health, it's because it stacks better in our inventory if it's not damaged. So, for example, if we take this, put that down, take our science lab, put that down. These belts. Are they damaged? Yes, damaged. Okay, yeah, so we got those laid out. Let's get the 2 damaged inserters. And now that we've got repair kits, oh, and 1 light. Now that we've got repair kits, let's go ahead and fix them up so that they stack with all of their undamaged brothers and sisters. There we go. After all, see, that already freed up some space. After all, I mean, gee whiz, if, oh, enemy there. If they failed, if the previous explorers failed, then you gotta believe that they fought the good fight and some of their equipment got damaged in the process. You know, so it's unreasonable to think that they lost the fight against the biters, as they're called, and none of their equipment got damaged in the process. So, all part of the lore. Alright, fantastic. Let's go take a look. There's a fence over here, but I don't think there's actually anything in it. I think it's just a pond. Alright, let's see. What else do we have? Let's work our way down toward the starting area again. Clearing more map space. That's another benefit of this. We're clearing more map space. We're removing the fog of war, as it's called. Oh, there's something down there. We'll go check it out. And of course, this is Factorio, so we have trees, and we have a love-hate relationship with the trees. Alright, let's pick these up. Electric miners, you can see all the great stuff we're getting. It's dark, I'm sorry about that. Sorry about the dark. Okay, come on, run out of ammo. There we go, there's one more. Yes, run out of ammo. Always keep fish in your inventory. They can bring your health back up. So we take these utility poles, take these radar sets, and that is fantastic. Oh, railroad tracks. We'll take those. Because who doesn't love trains? If I'm being honest, and those of you Factorio lovers out there, if you're being honest with yourselves, you know you love this game because of trains. A lot of things, yes, but trains are high on the list. Here we go again. Okay, about out of the fish. There we go. I better get some more. So I didn't know this, but it used to be, you know, one day fish would just show up in my inventory, and I had no idea why, how it got there. And I realized that I was actually picking it up in these crates around the game when you play modded. And I didn't realize that. I didn't realize their benefit, but I didn't realize you could actually harvest them. You right-click on them, find the little mass floating around, and right-click on them, and you can replenish your fish. It says raw, like you can cook them. So maybe you can put them in the furnace? I don't know. Never done it. I've never tried to put a fish in a furnace. Not in Factorio, anyway. Many times in Minecraft, but never in Factorio. Alright, so yeah, we're going to head back to our base. And where are we at? Okay, directly south. Alright. We're going to head back to our base. We're going to actually drop some stuff off. I mean, I say base very loosely. We don't actually have anything. My goodness, it's been 25 minutes already. At least in the little bit that I've recorded now, how far into this video it is, I don't know. That's all about editing. See our starting area? We have 5 of the most basic things that we need right there, which is really nice. Game designers are awesome. So let's take one iron crate and let's deposit... oh, well, also, let's do this. Let's take some stone furnaces. How much fuel do I have? Well, I got some wood. Got a little bit of coal. Alright, let's do that. And let's take 15 and 50. Let's see what that does. 15, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cannot be smelted. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, counting with Joe Mama. And let's do that. And put some copper in there. Put that in there. Let's split it. And 50. I don't know if 10 coal will smelt 50 iron ore. I have no idea. But we're going to do that. Let them smelt. And let's put a bunch of this stuff in here. Don't need any of that. Need the fish. Don't need that. Actually, let's see. Let's grab one of these wooden crates. Actually, one of these iron crates. And let's put another thing here. And we'll put raw ore in there, I think. Along with this wood. Let's see, we'll put some of this stuff. Inserters, utility poles, pipes. Yes, yes, we'll keep the repair kits. And that, and then the rest of this stuff. 1, 2, 3 will go in there. Alright, so we've emptied our inventory pretty well. Oh, okay, we'll hold on to that. And yeah, I think it's going to do it. I think it's going to do it just fine. 36, and it's only consumed 3. Oh yeah, we got plenty. So let's go ahead, add that. Take this out, take the copper out. We'll go ahead and add more iron ore. Do that. There we go. Alright, so all of our iron ore is being processed. And now let's see if we can go in a slightly different direction here. Let's go south. We'll take these walls. Now again, well, oh yeah, science packs. Science packs are huge finds. Steam engines and boilers are huge finds. Assembly, level 2 assembly machines, or what we just call assembly machine 2, the blue machines, are huge finds. Because as crazy as it sounds, some of the assembly machines take like the gray ones, the gray assembly machines are level 1s. They can only take 2 ingredients and combine them, whereas the blue machines can take up to 4, and then the yellow machines can take up to 6. But we'll never find those. I've never seen those in the Ruins mod. They're too advanced. Plus, you also need, I think you have to provide lubrication to those machines. I may be wrong. In order for them to work. Or I know, I may be wrong. I might be thinking of something else. But, maybe the output, maybe that's for output. I'm not exactly sure. But either way, I've never seen them in Ruins mods. So we're going to have to count on finding blue machines. Oh, we found fast inserters. And blue machines, which the crazy thing is, if you want to actually produce a level 1 machine with a machine, there it is, the creme de la creme. If you want to produce a level 1 machine with a machine, you have to use a level 2 machine to do it, because making a level 1 machine requires 3 ingredients. So, crazy stuff. But here we go. This is what I've been looking for. And it is burner inserters, which are awesome for what we're going to be doing. And steam engines. So now we can produce power. Now we can process the science packs that we've been finding. Alright. But let's see what else we can find before we get to that. There's something down here I want to get. And as I said, despite everything, the water pump we're going to have to produce in hand. So that is one item that we'll just have to surrender to producing. And also, the problem there is that the... oh, what do we got? There's something here. I can't see what it is. Oh, the railroad tracks. Won't worry about those. Not necessary now. Is that there are subcomponents that have to also be produced. So if we want to keep that number to 1, like I could go in here and I could say, yeah, right here, water pump. Let's produce it. But it would produce the gear wheels, it would produce the electronic circuits, as you can see the ingredients right there, and it would produce, and electronic circuits have sub-ingredients. So it would, so the game would take my request to produce a water pump, and it would produce all the sub-items in hand that would be needed, and all of those sub-items would count against my lazy bastard achievement. So I might ask it to produce 1 item, but it will produce 10 items to do it, if that makes sense. So, you know what? I'm not going to get all of these belts. This is a good find, but I do want the splitter right here. Splitters are great. I can't, unfortunately, with all these with this tree cover, I can't tell everything that's here. There's a belt balancer. And I don't know, this will just have to be something of opportunity. I'll come in and I'll collect all these belts. It is a huge find, though. Okay, let us sweep south. Alright, green science, we'll take that. Also, I've just blundered upon these beautiful things. These are blue assembly machines, and we need those. And let's do the repairs. And what's neat is these things aren't randomly put together. It's like the designers of the mod realize that if you've gotten to produce blue machines on the tech tree, you've gotten to a point where you have access to fast inserters. You use the fast belts, like these red fast belts, level 2 belts. So it's almost as if the configurations accurately reflect how one would progress through the game. So that's pretty neat from if I don't mind breaking the fourth wall here and talking about game development. By the way, if you're not familiar with Factorio, if you've never played it, but these sorts of games interest you, Factorio is par excellence, because not just because it's a well-polished game so far, and it's going to get better, but the developers are extremely involved in making sure that there's a very polished product and involved in the development, and it's just a lot of care is taken. Look at this. These, I've seen these before. You'll find these crates. Those are the exact components you need to create an automobile. Problem is, we're not advanced enough to actually build it, but we have the components, and sometimes those components are hard to come by. So science lab with science packs. And the science packs are great because collecting them is going to help us advance through the tech tree without actually having to produce the packs. Because science packs, you have to produce them. I would say that in early, mid, and not end game, because this game can, once you launch the rocket, you can continue forever, honestly. So I won't say end game, but late game. As you get toward launching your rocket, your factory is almost exclusively focused around the production of different science packs, really. And it's a great challenge, but if you really think about it, even if you're familiar with Factorio, you kind of got to admit that almost everything we do in the game revolves around creation of and processing of science packs. So they are central to the game. All right, we have storage tanks. We'll take those and their associated plumbing. Suppose we could take the wall too. These repair packs last an immorally long time. But it would be nice to have a nice reserve of them. Okay, let's see how far we can go south before we run into biters. Aside from the power plant components, there is a particular... Oh, something's over here. There is a particular configuration of ruins that I'm looking for. Again, having played this game, I kind of gotten used to seeing the same configurations over and over again. But there's one particular one I'm looking for. It will be very satisfying to find it. It's well defended, so let's see. Can we grab some fish on the way? Let's see if we can do that. We do have the ability to defend ourselves. Right now we have a pistol. We have a handgun, and that's it. We'll be able to produce a submachine gun later. Little bit more power. Torn here. What do we want? Let's go get the Splitters are super awesome components. You're going to use these all over the place. So collect them when you find them. I swear, once you play Factorio this way with this mod, it's like I don't want to play it any other way. Okay, let's put the fish in hand. Okay, and let's pick up this radar set. Alright, let's tank these hits until it runs out of ammo, which it eventually will. And there's some uranium ore. One of my favorite components that was added to this game recently is nuclear power. I love it. It's a complex but very rewarding addition to the vanilla game. Absolutely love it. Now, I understand that the oil refining has changed over the last several months. It used to be we'd set up an oil refinery, and you'd have to insert crude oil. You'd have to add crude oil into it, but the output would be 3 products: petroleum gas, heavy oil, and light oil. My understanding now is that you cannot produce heavy and light oil with the first level of oil processing, because remember there was oil. You can research oil processing, and then you can research advanced oil processing. And I think advanced oil processing is the gate that you have to clear before you can get heavy and light oil now. So the oil refinery produces nothing but petroleum gas when you first start out, which I guess kind of makes sense. That might be a help, because if I remember correctly, petroleum gas was it was one of the most needed things, but you had to produce heavy and light oil no matter what. Uh-oh, here we go with the turrets again. And what would end up happening is that you'd solely be trying to produce petroleum gas. Oops, almost died there. Okay. You'd be trying to produce petroleum gas, but you'd have to set up tanks to collect all the heavy and light oil that you didn't need yet, but had to be produced at the same time. There's the biters. If that makes sense. You only needed one of the products, but you had to produce all 3. If you produced one, you had to produce all 3. So you better find something to do with the other 2 products that you don't need. And usually that meant producing a bunch of tanks, and then you end up with a whole bunch of excess heavy and light oil, and you'd have to struggle to find a use for them. Well, now you don't have to do that, apparently. So now everything that comes out initially is petroleum gas, and that actually is a good thing. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't experienced that, but I could see how that would be extremely annoying. Or I could see how that would be the relief of an extreme annoyance. I remember that was one of the things that people lamented about oil refining was, oh man, what do I do with all this heavy and light oil? You have to do something with it. Oh, a red splitter. All right, we'll definitely take that. And just so you know, I think this is one little plot hole in the Ruins mod, is that these turrets will not attack biters. Maybe that's part of the reason they failed. These turrets only attack the player. They won't attack the biters Because I've deliberately tried to draw the biters near one of these ruins, and the gun just attacks me instead of the biters. And if you're trying to build a factory and make it survive, and you can't program a turret to attack the real bad guys, then yeah, that might be why you failed. Whole bunch of science labs. Very little needs to be repaired. Some furnaces. Utility poles. Inserters. We'll take them. Yeah, I think we found our... Oh, man, right there. Drat. More steam engines. Yeah, right there on the map. More steam engines. Alright, so not going that way. Ah, here we go. Found one. And can we get it? It's a little bit close to a biter base, but I think we can get it. So let's tank the hits. Which we're going to have to do from the guns. There generally isn't a ton of ammunition in these things. Yeah, they call that an enemy structure. The turret. It's an enemy structure. Can't be mined. But we are very close to this biter base, so we're going to get everything we can and get out of here. Fortunately, the major components that we want are not... Oops. I want to collect these things up. And then let the gun do its thing. Take everything around it that we can get. This was the big thing I was looking for, because there's a whole bunch of goodies in this one place. Oh yeah, that's right, we got that other gun. Alright. And let's go back and take assessment of everything we have. I've already unloaded my my inventory twice now. Well, you know what? We're actually so close to finishing. Let's go ahead and let's just scour the last bit that we can get to. And let's see if there's anything to be gotten. I think we're pretty much done. We'll follow this body of water and see what we find as we get closer to the enemy. Oh, here we go. Another one of these. Another one of these supply depots, if you will. Abandoned supply areas, and I think it's a little close to the base, but we'll get what we can get. Can't reach. I don't want to go into it if I can avoid it. A lot of times, these places have landmines, and I just don't want to get that close to it. Okay, it looks like we can get almost everything. Okay, I'm not in a position to engage the biters just yet. So, it occurred to me that I don't think there's any way around it. None of the supplies I have are really subcomponents for the water pump, and I can't operate any of the assembly machines unless I have electrical power, and I can't have electrical power unless I have a water pump. So that is a problem, which means that in order to make this water pump, I'm going to have to eat all the subcomponents. I can make one. So let's just watch. You look like you're going to say to yourself, "Wow, you only gave a command to create one item, and yet a whole bunch of other items had to be created." So let's find out how much. Yep, you can see the number going up. So 7. One water pump, but it required 7 total assemblies in hand. 6 subcomponents. So now that we've got the water pump, though, we can set up our power plant, and I think we'll do that, and then we'll call this an episode, I think. So let's head back. Okay, so we are here. Let's go ahead. Come on. Let's get the fish. There we go. Okay. Let's add a few pieces of coal to these. And we're going to go ahead and smelt some iron and copper ore if we have it. I think all we've got is iron ore, to tell you the truth. So let's go ahead. 150. Alright, cool. That's good. So look at all these components that we have found. And let's see. We're going to take... Do we have our power components? Our power plant components? Yes, right here. Yeah, we have a whole buttload of stuff that we have gathered. And that is very awesome. Whole bunch of science packs. Where are our science packs? Over here. We got a whole bunch of science packs. We've got a whole bunch of labs. I'm telling you, we are really well set. So let's go ahead and do what we talked about. The water is down here. And we will set up our water pump. Oh, pipes. Let's go ahead and get some pipes. I know I had a whole bunch of them in here. Let's see, where are they? Boom, boom. And we've got our... Did we grab our boilers? Yes, we did. We've got burner inserters. So let us set up... Let's see, what's the farthest we can elbow? Alright, right there. And then it will turn the corner. And let's start setting up our boilers. 2, 3. No, we've got a whole bunch of boilers, but we've only got, I believe, 9 power plants, so we're going to set up 5 boilers. There we go. Or, yeah, 5 boilers because we've got drat. There we go. We'll just... Oh, you know what we need to do? Forgot. There's a step we need to do. Just put a space every 2 boilers so we can set up our utility poles in between. And we'll put that right there. Now what I'd like to do... Oh, you know what? Yeah. Let's do this. We can do it. We have the components to do it. Let's go ahead and set up these pipes here in between. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a steam reserve, which is going to keep the power plant running in the event that we run out of power. In the event that we overload the power plant, this will keep the power plant running for a little bit because we're going to have a reserve of steam. So then, boy, you never get to do this in the beginning, but with the Ruins mod, it kind of opens this option up for you. We can't put that there, so we're going to put this here. And there we go. Then let's take our utility poles, connect them together. And I have a couple of lights, so I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of lights here. And so what we now need to do is we've got a couple of mining machines, but we're not going to use the burner miners. We've got a bunch of electrics. Let's go ahead and use the electrics. So I'm going to use 4 of them. We've got 18. Let's use 4 of them. It's going to be more than enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a utility pole in between. And our belts are really... We've got a whole bunch of belts, so we can go ahead and set them up. We've really got a good supply of them. And only have 3 burner inserters. We'll probably find more. We'll be able to create more, but what I'll do is I'll use 3 for now. And let's see. I have a bunch of utility poles. Let's see how much I've got. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got plenty. Oh, do I have any other burner inserters? Do I, by chance? Oh, yeah. There we go. Awesome. Good. That makes that easy. I don't like to use electric inserters around the boilers because they can power themselves. Makes no sense. Why would you do that? Why would you use electrics if you can avoid it? Alright, so that is set up. So now we have to prime the system. You think in order for us to have electrical power, at least one boiler has to be boiling. So let's go ahead, add coal to one of them. And that will start getting these things running, and then that will power all of them. And then we should have a sustaining system. Hopefully. Oh, well that should have something in it. How about that? Oh, it's not going to put any in because the boiler is full. That's why that one's not activating. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, decent. So there we go. Why is this not connected? Oh, because it doesn't have a utility pole up against it. There we go. Okay, so now we're building up our steam. So we're getting our steam reserve. So that way, if it started to run out of coal, this steam would kick in, and hopefully it would give us some time to remedy the problem. We would probably have some other indication. Oh, you know what we can do? When we get logic circuits, we can set up a circuit that will monitor the steam level, and when it drops below a certain level, it'll set off an alarm. So there we go. We have our power plant. So now we can start setting up assembly machines. That is fantastic. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera on there. There we go. What in the world? I kept this out of the way via... What? Action center while you're gaming. Turn it off. Alright, whatever. Let me send that aside. Okay, so anyway, hopefully you guys found this interesting. And I'll try to do more in the future, but again, so much is dependent upon my schedule, and I really want to do this. I love Factorio, and again, for me, it's kind of re-educating myself on this game, and I really look forward to doing that. So hopefully, tune in more. Tune in later. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. I enjoy doing this, and I hope you enjoy watching it, and I think things will get more interesting as we go. This was a lot of foraging. Not much factorying, but a whole lot of foraging. So, but anyway, tune in next time. I'll see you later. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.
Thank you.